al-Qaeda.com. Patrick, presumably this offer doesn't stand much of a chance, bearing in mind the British government claims it's never going to negotiate with terrorists.
Yeah, the first thing is the mainstream media's coverage of this story. What you have to understand is it's pure theater, okay? Abu Qatada is not actually a terrorist, okay? On the other hand, in Britain, you have Abu Hamza and Harun Rashid Aswad. Now, these two are on record as being informants for MI5 and MI6. They are handled, and they are handlers of other people who are working for the intelligence agencies doing black operations. They haven't been extradited. He's been released. Aswad's been released in the U.S. in Seattle. He was let out of Britain after 7/7. Now he's drugged up in a mental home at Broadmoor. And what you have with these informants is, normally with informants, what happens when they're done being used, they're neutralized, and then they're deleted from the system. Okay, and this covers covers loose ends, so to speak, for the intelligence agencies. Abu Qatada's story is media fodder, and it's used to hype up a bigger theater, which is the London Olympics is coming, and there's a massive presence of security, billions spent to hype up a terror alert, missiles on roofs and so forth. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, that's all the story is.
Nevertheless, the British government is in a difficult position, isn't it? It's being openly challenged and threatened by an al-Qaeda group based in Africa. They're saying if the British government doesn't comply, there will be consequences. What sort of consequences could there be? Or are you saying there won't be any?
I don't believe there will be any. I don't believe he'll be extradited. The al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb in North Africa is billed in the media as an al-Qaeda affiliate in North Africa. Okay. Now, what you have to understand, and what your viewers have to understand, the whole narrative of al-Qaeda is controlled by Western intelligence agencies, and the media never questions it. That's why we see these stories pop up. Al-Qaeda is like the off-the-books Blackwater for covert Western intelligence agencies. They're used in Bosnia, Algeria, Libya, Iraq. They make their money from smuggling, drug running, kidnapping, and also wet work, is murder for hire, or working, organizing other lower-level fighters in places like Libya and Syria. That's what al-Qaeda is. That's what Robin Cook said it is. That's what they are. The war on terror has become like a reality TV show. It's staged with paid contestants. But just like Big Brother, its ratings are plummeting because nobody cares anymore. No one is watching this reality show. They're having to change the narrative now towards states' enemies, not al-Qaeda. That's already being talked down in America. Now it's state enemies. We're moving towards the new paradigm.
But what you have to say doesn't bring any words of any comfort, of course, for the man himself, Stephen Malcolm, who's being held against his will, and presumably his life could be threatened.
Sure. I mean, you have a potential situation like that of Daniel Pearlman or Kenneth Bigley. These were two hostages held by supposedly al-Qaeda groups and were assassinated or executed publicly. Now, but still, you have to, and your audience has to understand that when you see the word al-Qaeda in the media, this is really a controlled opposition that is absolutely handled at the highest levels by the Western intelligence agencies in America and Britain. Okay, so this narrative that you're watching, this theater you're seeing play out, you need to look past the surface of it and look at the real stuff on record, especially with Hamza and Aswad in the UK. They are informants of the intel agencies.
Patrick Henningsen, thanks very much indeed for joining us live here on RT.